Welcome back, everybody. Rock Talk episode 21. I'm excited to talk some men's volleyball with head coach Noah Salazar. We're going to preview the season right here on Rock Talk. Coach Salazar, Noah, whatever you want to be called. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Noah's fine. Usually I have my guys call me Noah too.
Really?
Yeah.
You're an informal guy.
Yeah, that's how I was at North Park too. I always called him Mike. Never once called him coach, like pretty much at all.
It was a really close relationship.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
He was kind of the same way. He just preferred that. So.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about, we could go back to there right now. Your North Park days, you played 4 years out there in Chicago. Just tell me a little bit about your men's volleyball playing career.
Yeah, so I started playing pretty late. So I didn't start playing volleyball till I was a sophomore. I was actually a baseball player my whole life.
Wow. What position?
I predominantly pitched. I did a lot of catching as well, but pitcher was always kind of my main thing.
Yeah, do you have some nasty stuff?
I was more of a junk guy. I didn't have the best arm, but I had, usually 12-6 curve was my main one, but I could curve, a side curve, I had a slider, kind of a couple different things.
Just stuff to mess with dudes.
Yeah, we don't have enough heat.
Right. No, I know. Hey,
you're
you're talking. You're preaching the choir here. I'm a guy who's pumping 72 on a good day.
Yeah.
You got to get him with some junk. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, I was mainly a baseball guy. Decided I wanted to play in college. Decided I wanted to go somewhere where I wanted to kind of try to guarantee I'd get playing time. And so I looked into North Park, a couple other places. They were, like newer programs. So
right, relatively new.
Yeah, we only had about like 8 guys because they lost a ton of people from the year prior. So it was a year or two when they had a couple of guys. Funny enough, full circle moment. My first ever match was against Rockford.
Really?
In their opening season.
Their first ever.
Their first ever match as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So super full circle.
It's really come all the way back for you.
Yeah. So that was interesting. But no, I was an outside. Even though being only 5'10", it's which can be tough.
So you're just telling me you could get up off the floor?
Yeah. I had about a 40-inch, so I was touching about 10.8 to 10.10.
My God, 40.
Yeah, I was up there.
I've never seen you jump, but I wouldn't have guessed 40. That's really impressive.
I don't have 40 anymore, but I can still get up. But I ended up transitioning primarily to a back row player just because I has a really strong serve receive. It's kind of my main thing.
Mm-hmm.
So sophomore year I ended up being primarily a DS, and then junior and senior year I was kind of in and out of the front row. So I kind of did everything. I was more of a utility player. But I was kind of fortunate enough to be able to play all 4 years and start. So
yeah, you're able to move to a bunch of different spots. Isn't that's really valuable to have on a team? Somebody who could just play anywhere you put them and not have a problem with it.
Yeah, definitely a frustrating role to be in when you're doing it. But if you're a team player, you're all for it. So
specifically. Excuse the pause. Just trying to get your volume at the perfect level. Back to what I was talking about specifically. If you like one of those positions a lot more than the other, but you're getting moved around to something that you might not like doing as much, that could probably be frustrating.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite of one of those things? What did you like to do the most?
My favorite thing was always the serve receive. That's something I always kind of fell in love with. Something that for a lot of people isn't always fun because serve receive is honestly probably the hardest skill to master.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's frustrating. Even in practice, a lot of guys don't like to work on it. But who doesn't like to hit a ball, right? So
exactly.
I always love playing front row.
In any sport, who doesn't like to hit the ball, have the ball?
Yeah.
Just do anything. It's a ball sport. You want to have the ball in our hands.
Exactly. Yeah.
So going back to those North Park days again, you were studying physics, which I find really interesting. So did you always think that you were going to end up being a head coach at the D3 level of a men's volleyball team, or was there something else that you were on a different path?
Yeah, honestly, no, I didn't expect this. I knew I wanted to continue being around the sport. I knew I wanted to coach, whether it was in a club form or if I was coaching high school or something. When I was a senior, I was thinking, okay, we're physics. Now I'm trying to look at what are my options with this. Kind of realized if you want to pursue this and do research, which is kind of I wanted to do. I wanted to study space and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You would need to get a PhD, and I was like, I don't feel like I'm cut out for that. I was never a studious person. And so I was kind of just like, okay, I'm going to go back home, just kind of find something. There's other things you can use with your degree, nothing super lucrative, but there's options. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll just be a GA somewhere. I don't know. And then Mike had offered me the spot, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And so, prior to 3 years ago, this was not even something in the cards.
On your radar. You were trying to be an astronaut, get your PhD, and go to space. That's so interesting to me. I'm fascinated with outer space as well, and physics itself. you've probably got a wealth of knowledge about it, way more than I do. But we could probably, we could do a Joe Rogan podcast just about that for about 3 hours. But we're here to talk volleyball.
Yeah.
That's what we're here to do. You were an assistant at North Park for a year. Just tell me what you learned in that experience that you've brought over here to Rockford.
Honestly, dude, it was such an immersive experience. So I did both women's and the men's. So I was lucky to get like a full year's worth. On the women's side, it was really fascinating. So there were at the time, they still are, but they were a very strong program at the time. I think we had like 6 or 7 nationally ranked teams on the schedule. We went to nationals that year. It was just kind of everything. I did scouting reports for every nationally ranked team we did.
Yeah.
Mike wanted to, with conference being so important and getting that bid to nationals, that was his main focus. As he was really locked into the conference, and so he allowed me to do some other things. I was helping, with practice planning. I started to get involved with recruiting a little bit, and then especially on the men's side. And honestly, it was just giving me kind of an insight on just like the world of being a head coach a little bit. Although, I mean, even to this day, I think I'm still kind of learning through every moment. It's still kind of getting my training wheels going, I feel like. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to learn by doing, right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's the best way to just get the real experience in doing it. Did you have a favorite aspect of just that assistant coaching job? Was there something you liked more between scouting, recruiting, the actual on-court stuff? What did you enjoy the most?
I mean, being in the gym is always going to be the most fun thing, I think. But leading up to that is always really cool. I think planning it out, thinking through just what your guys need. But scouting was really fun. I think it was really, really rewarding, too. Especially, I think, in the women's game, it's a lot more dynamic.
Yeah.
Men's game is a lot more about physicality. Don't worry, there's still tons of strategy and stuff involved, but in the women's game, there's a lot more, I would say. And so seeing, like, what you put together and seeing the players be able to do it and then you winning sets, winning matches off that, that's really fun. And that, for me, was maybe the most fun part of that experience working with the women's team.
I can imagine. I mean, coming up with a game plan yourself and then seeing it executed out on the floor and having it win you a match, a game, like that's got to be one of the best feelings just in sports, being able to execute a game plan that you spent time putting together. Tell me, is there a program that you played against? Is there a specific team? Like, what's the best team that you ever had the opportunity to coach against or play against?
So it would be hand in hand. Obviously, coaching at the same conference as CCIW was definitely Carthage. I think it was my sophomore year. I mean, they've always been good. They go to nationals every year. I think they had one time had 5 All-Americans on their starting roster. I think there was like 2 first team, 2 second team, and 1 was like honorable mention. And so, I mean, I played them when they went back-to-back national champions, and then they got like second, I think, next year.
Yeah.
So that's always a crazy team to play against.
That's insane to me. 5 different All-Americans on one. I mean, it's a fast-growing. I mean, specifically on the men's side, a fast-growing sport. So that not every school has men's volleyball, but to have 5 All-Americans on just one team and be that, I don't know, nationally recognized is really cool. That's a great opportunity you had to play against that team and coach against that team. Carthage. All right, we'll keep that in mind. We'll move on over to the NAC. Is there a team that you guys have on the schedule this year that you're really excited about going up against?
Honestly, a lot of the teams we're excited about just because last year, going into the end of our season with Danny getting hurt, we just didn't really get to be full force against half our conference matches. But definitely one school I always like playing against just because I have a small connection here is Lakeland. My best friend used to libero over there, and so that's just always a fun team to kind of play against. I wouldn't say there's really a particular team. No,
just nameless, faceless opponents coming in.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, doesn't matter what color jersey they're wearing, what name's on the back. You guys are going to go out and do your best against them.
That's the hope.
We could pivot. You brought him up, Danny Karpenko. He's your GA, your assistant coach. Tell me what it's been like having him transition from a player role to now a coaching role. Just tell me just what growth you've seen from him and how it's been having him next to you.
Yeah, he's been an extreme help. It's always interesting, doing it myself, going from a player to then, coaching the guys that you just, played with.
Yeah.
And he's done a great job in that transition. It's sometimes it's actually hard for some guys, I feel like, just kind of making that transition because you have to really switch from being I'm not your buddy anymore to I'm your coach. You know what I mean?
That's the hardest part.
It is. And luckily he was always a leader on the roster, and so it wasn't hard. Especially if the guys didn't have a respect for him already, it would have made it harder, but there's been no issues there. We only had one middle kind of return this season, and so now that we have a bunch of middles that are young, and Danny just being such a force for us last year, he knows everything that I'm trying to do and everything I want to work with them on. So, I kind of think of him always like, with track and field, you have a specialist coach. He's our middle specialist, and he's done a phenomenal job that way. So
yeah, he was your team MVP last year. Obviously, leadership role has transitioned well into it, and you've got a lot of time to spend with him. I mean, you guys, he's 10 feet away from your office door.
Yeah.
And then I just want to ask about, 3-a-days. You guys have been doing 3-a-days practicing. Tell me what that is. Is that how you did it at North Park?
Yeah, I would say generally your 1 week of preseason is usually 2 or 3-a-days. If you do a 2-a-day, usually you also have a lift that day. If you do a 3-a-day, normally there's no lifts. In general, I've seen volleyball, that's kind of a normal thing to do. It's only for 1 week. You're obviously not doing a bunch of max jumping every practice.
Exactly.
You've got to keep the guys healthy. Something definitely last year we went a little overboard, I felt. I feel like we went into a season a little banged up, and so that was my priority this year, was to make sure we didn't go into it.
Come in healthy.
Yeah, and I feel like we definitely did that. We had a couple of issues, but they were all off-the-court issues or ones that stemmed from the fall, which were, once again, just kind of any injuries we had actually were off the court. Carter with his hamstring was actually from him moving furniture. And then the only other big one was JoJo's wrist was bothering him, and he was skating over break. So
that's skating's usually a culprit for some of those nagging injuries, I could say. Yeah, we always had doubles playing football, and then as I got older, I think they started to just get rid of those. Doubles in college was we would practice full in the morning, and then we'd have a no pads, nothing, just run around, hour-long practice in the afternoon. I can't even imagine going out there 3 different times and playing. Just tell me, what's that like in your mind when you wake up in the morning and you go, okay, I've got a practice coming up here in an hour, and then we're going to have another practice midday, and then another one tonight. What is it like just as a player and somebody just expecting 3 different practices coming up? What do you have to do to prepare for that?
There's only so much you can do to prepare for it. I think the thing that makes it easy is that it's really fun. Your whole day is volleyball. You practice and you eat with the team, and then you practice and you eat with the team, and then you practice, and then you're so dead you go to bed and do it all again.
Yeah.
The thing that you really can't always prepare for is, after that first day, days 2 and 3, you're dead. Your body's falling apart. Once the DOMs kind of go away, 4 and 5 are usually pretty good days for you.
Yeah.
But if you're physically conditioned, it'll be easier for you. But if you sat on the couch all break, it's going to be a tough one.
You're going to be weeded out.
Yeah,
right, definitely.
For sure.
It's probably something else. You're going to see the guys who really love the game. If you're doing it all day, I go back to fall camp coming in August 9th, getting ready for 3 full weeks of football. It's football all day, every day. You're going to find out the guys who really love the sport, right? And have you had dudes in the past that you've weeded out and be like, yeah, we don't really want to do this all day, every day? Has that ever happened to you?
Me specifically, not for myself as a player, but I had teammates like that, and I've seen guys before who you can tell the guys who are really crazy about it, because no matter how tired they get, they're still going balls to the wall. They're going nuts, and some of the guys are like, yeah, I could maybe take a day off, and you can just see that on them.
Yeah.
But I haven't felt like we've had anyone who has been
no
on
problems
the bad
this
end.
year.
No,
yeah.
No, not at all.
A lot of enthusiasm.
For sure,
season.
especially the freshmen. Freshmen are always gung ho. So.
Yeah, that's great. A class that comes in that loves the sport, and you know how many freshmen you have exactly on the team this year? I see a lot of them just looking up and down your roster.
Yeah, so we have quite a few new guys. I don't know what the number is exactly at the moment.
I count 5.
We did have some roster, so I think there's 5 freshmen. Yes, that is correct. 5 freshmen, but then we also have 3 juniors who weren't a part of the roster prior.
So a lot of new faces.
Yes, a ton of new faces, which is interesting. We actually have more new guys than returners.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's that? What kind of dynamic is that? More guys that weren't on the team from last year. Tell me what that's like.
It meant a lot of catching up in terms of how we do things.
Yeah.
Luckily, our guys have been great leading by example. I was kind of nervous. I was like, I didn't know what the chemistry was going to be like. I didn't know how much we were going to click. And luckily, it seems like pretty much everyone's kind of found their way in. Obviously, every team's going to have some sort of, I don't like to use the word clicks, but people are going to get along better than others.
Yeah.
But we've had no issues with it being separated. At least as far as I'm aware. But no, I think it's been really good. I think the guys are really enjoying playing with each other, enjoying spending time off the court with each other, and that's kind of all you can really ask for.
That's a great sign. That's great to hear. You don't want to hear the opposite, right?
Exactly.
You don't want to hear guys, I'm tired of you already. We haven't even started the season yet. I mean, we want guys to be in a good space, especially with the dudes they're going to be playing with all season long. You guys are kind of in a weird spot. You're not really a full-on spring sport, not really a winter sport. You're kind of like right there in between. You got your first game coming up against Illinois Wesleyan next Tuesday. Tell me a little bit. Have you done any scouting on them? Just tell me what you guys are doing to prepare for that game specifically.
Yeah, for sure. No, we've definitely done some scouting. We're planning to get that out to the guys probably. Well, we were planning to Friday, went out with the weather. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
So they're a team we played last year. They were actually our opener last year as well. I like to start out the year with a pretty tough team. So Wesleyan is a tough opponent. One thing that we're kind of working through is how to deal with some of the larger opponents we're going to see this year.
Yeah.
You know, we also see a lot of lefties in our conference, and they also have a lefty themselves. So that's something that we've kind of prepared for in the past. Some things that we've talked through is whether we, have to make some switches to adjust blockers. But a big thing for us is going to be kind of my philosophy in general, but for this team specifically is getting our middles really involved. So as long as the passing kind of allows us to get the middles going, I think they're a team who, from what I see, it seems as almost if they're like, you're not going to set your middles enough for us to make them a high priority. And so most of the kills that we're seeing against them are from middles. But, as long as the passing allows it, I think that our middles could have a really, really huge day for us.
Yeah, so there's definitely an opportunity to make some noise in that first game. It's going to be coming from the middle is what I'm hearing from you.
Yes.
I'm excited to see it. And just looking up and down your schedule, and I've noticed this. I mean, I was the one who put it together and put it in on the website. But is there a duality? I mean, you have a bunch of different tournaments on your schedule. Is there a difference in preparation between – because right after that Illinois Wesleyan game, you're going to go to Indiana, St. Mary of the Woods College tournament, and play 4 games in 2 days. Is there a difference in preparation going to a tournament, playing a bunch of different opponents compared to, say, the week after that you're going to be playing just Aurora that week? Is there a difference in how you prepare to one game between that and a tournament?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, obviously when you have one team to prepare for, you can be a lot more specific.
Yeah.
You have a much more structured game plan. When you go into a tournament like we're doing next weekend, it's really more about how can we be the best and do what we do the best. And sometimes that's not always your main focus getting into a conference match because you might need to change your play style a little bit to kind of prepare yourselves.
Yeah.
But that's kind of our goal. We're going to have very, very slight scouting reports. I'm not going to do an in-depth scouting for 4 teams because they're not going to remember that, right?
Right.
And so it's mainly just, okay, here's the go-tos. Here are the couple keys we need to kind of get through a couple of these teams. And really just, especially being early this season, I'm more about let's do what we do really, really well. And then as we get into conference, then we can talk about how we take down teams specifically. But to start a season off, I just want to do the things that we do really well.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, going into a tournament you're going to play, I'll list off the opponents right here. Park University Gilbert, that's in Arizona. They're coming all the way out to Indiana. Calumet College of St. Joseph, Goshen College, and then Simpson University, California. That's a bunch of different schools from a bunch of different places. Yeah, I mean, you don't have the time to specifically scout and prepare scouting reports for each of those teams. So it's more focusing on, okay, what do we do well? What do we want to work on? And how can we build off of that game to game against playing in the NAC? Playing Aurora, a team that you've seen before, going to see again. You're able to build a scouting report. Yeah, I like it. Tell me how you're feeling. Sorry to cut you off there. Tell me how you're feeling, just how practice has gone. Tell me if there's anybody on the roster that you've seen a lot of growth from, anybody that you want to highlight specifically.
There's one guy we'll definitely highlight, Jordan Hurst. So he was a freshman for us last year, was actually a walk-on.
Wow.
So, I walked into a pretty small roster last season, and we didn't have a right side. So he played predominantly middle in high school. And I was, I saw a vision with him. He was kind of a newer player. But I saw a vision with him where I was like, I can see where you can go with this as if you're going to be diligent. He ended up being one of those guys who were crazy about it. He put all the work in practice. He did all the work after practice. He was the type of kid who was, texting me like every single day, like, hey, coach, I saw this. Oh, I've been working on this. I watched my film. Hey, what are things? Hey, can I come in for a film session tomorrow? And then all summer long, really, really continue to do that work, not just in the gym, but also playing as much as he can, getting extra reps. And I foresee him being a kind of guy last year where, early in the season, we were like, we're going to only try to use him in good situations, make things easy for him, to where I'm like, okay, you're the guy for us this season. Like, I expect him to be our highest scorer this year. And so it's been a really incredible growth. I mean, it goes to show, too, like, what you do off the court is everything, really. I mean, there's only so much I can do for you to 2-hour practice.
Yeah.
So
there's only so much, preparation, conditioning, that's really what you can control. Everything else, that goes on the player. That's exciting to hear. Jordan Hurst, he's going to be wearing number 11. Anybody coming out, I'm going to quickly read off your home opener just for everybody listening, coming out in support. That's going to be, again, besides this alumni game that's coming up here on Saturday, which is still scheduled as of right now. There's inclement weather coming up in the area, but the alumni game's at 1 p.m. in the Seaver Center. But your first real match that counts for the record, it's a NAC game. That's Aurora, February 10th on a Tuesday at 7 p.m. Again in the Seaver Center. Excited to see you guys play here at Rockford. Hopefully we can get a lot of people out to that game. Just a couple more questions before I let you go. I know, you guys practice all the time at a bunch of different times. Want to be careful with your time specifically. But tell me what it's like working closely with the women's head coach Zach Rothstein and his assistant Angel Vo. Just tell me what it's like and what that relationship and how that's helped you.
Yeah, me and Zach we talked previous to last season, and previous to their last season, this past fall, and we kind of decided, well, we both, GAs and full-time assistants are scarce.
Yeah.
And so, what can we do to kind of help each other, whether it's through resources, talking through how can we help each other with budgets, and just with time. And so he's been extremely helpful. I hope that I was helpful for him as well during his season. I tried to be as many practices as I could.
Yeah.
We try to get to two a week for each other. If we can do more, that's awesome. As well as being at home games when possible. But no, he's been really helpful, just giving me different insights. Another person to kind of question you, I think, is always important to have. So, no, he's been really, really helpful.
Yeah, and a different perspective. He's another guy who played in college, the all-time leader in digs at the D3 level.
Yeah,
he's a guy.
He was a phenomenal barrel.
Yeah.
I believe I played against him my
Really?
sophomore year. I think it was his senior year.
Do you remember who won?
We definitely lost. Fontenbonne was a phenomenal program. They were very strong at the time.
Yeah, they had him, and they had probably a bunch of different guys out there as well. That's really cool. That another way goes full circle.
Yeah,
just a bunch of different circles. We call it a Venn diagram. Well, Coach Salazar, I've kept you here for about 20 or so minutes. Is there anybody else that you want to talk about? Anybody specifically on the roster? Any predictions for the season? Anything you want to say? You have the mic in front of your face.
We've had a couple other guys who've been really special for us. Jacob Brewster last year was kind of a DS, and he's stepping up at libero this season. I expect him to kind of have a breakout, as well as I think a guy who's kind of goes under the radar because I think how setters are sometimes. But Tsubasa, if he was 6 foot, I think he'd be playing Division I. I think he's truly one of the best setters in the conference, and I think it's something that should be appreciated. But kind of going in the season, the biggest thing for me, and I talked about all last year, obviously injuries happen, and it wasn't exactly what we wanted. We tied the win record last year, but I want that record. So that's kind of where we're at.
Great. I think you guys can do it. I think you're set up. I think there's been improvement. I'm excited to see what you guys do this year. And one last time, got a shout out. Alumni game coming up on Saturday. Go watch them get some licks in, play against somebody else. And then the first men's volleyball game at home this season, February 10th. Against Aurora University, 7 p.m. on a Tuesday in the Seaver Center. Coach Noah Salazar, it's been great to talk to you. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
One last time. Anything else you want to say?
No, that's all I got, man. Just hoping we get some guys out to the games.
Yep, I hope so, too. I'm going to do my best to try to do that. Appreciate you coming on. I had a great time. That'll do it. Rock Talk episode 21. That was a men's volleyball season preview before their 2026 season. Your host, Cole Weber, signing off on Rock Talk.